What is going on, everybody? Trevor the Aviator here, where today I am in Seattle, Washington at the SeaTac Airport. So currently it is pretty good light outside, but tonight though I am going to be taking a red eye on Seattle's airline, Alaska Airlines, on a 737-900 back to Chicago O'Hare to end out my little break that I have from school. This will be my first time flying on Alaska Airlines, and I am looking really forward to seeing my experience by flying Alaska Airlines. So in a moment, I'm gonna get headed my way through security and then walk around the airport. But first, I will actually show you guys some highlights that ended up occurring from my trip here in Seattle. So as you guys could see, those were some of the highlights that ended up occurring during the few days that I was out here in Seattle. And I will say, if you guys look at coming out here, I would highly recommend this place. It is just a beautiful place to visit. But now though, I am going to head through security and then show you guys what is around, and then of course when tonight hits, I will be filming the flight. Once I entered my way into the airport, I will say this airport overall is an amazing airport to be in. Personally, for me, of all the airports that I have been to, I would say that this is likely one of my personal favorites in terms of being able to walk around, as there is a lot of shops that are around the airport as well as restaurants. And not only that, but inside the terminal as well offers some spectacular views in which you can actually watch some airplanes. I did wish the giant window in the center though was open, but there are some other great areas around the airport as well. After I ended up seeing what shops and restaurants were around, I began to head my way towards the Alaska Airlines concourse area, where I checked out the stuff that was in there, and eventually did a little bit of plane spotting where I saw a lot of Alaska Airlines 737s, and there were quite a number of flights for the time that I was here, which was at night. And I did a little bit of plane spotting and also saw a couple of other unique aircraft as well as I was waiting for my flight. For my flight tonight, I am located at gate C18, where very shortly I am going to be flying on the Alaska Airlines 737-900 in the One World livery on the red eye back to Chicago. Alrighty guys, it's time for us to board our flight. tonight's flight taking off from Seattle was a very smooth takeoff, as it was a very clear night, and with this there was a lot that was around with seeing what the Seattle area was like at night from above. We started things off with flying over around downtown Seattle and then began to cruise our way throughout the area, and seeing the area at night, like every other city, I find is just spectacular to see. It's one thing special when you happen to be able to see these cities around at night. Some cities I've also flown over were New York, Los Angeles, Chicago, and many other places, and it just gives you a completely different feel compared to what it is like going in or out during the course of the day. Even though seeing the Seattle area at night was amazing, however though, due to the mountains that were just to the east of the area, it quickly began to fade away, as for a little bit, which I did not record, but it was literally pitch black, pretty much from east of Seattle all the way through Montana for the most part. There was like one or two small cities in there, but besides that, there was not really a whole lot to see except for pitch blackness, especially all the way until we got to the upper plains. However, though, there were a couple of towns that ended up popping up that were pretty decent to see out of the window. As far as the seat goes for inside of the flight, the seat that I was in tonight, I will say, was a very comfortable seat that I was in. I was very impressed, and it exceeded my expectations compared to what I originally thought. And I felt that even the tray table as well felt quite big, in my opinion, compared to other airplanes that I've been on, even though it probably is average. But I decided to use this to my advantage in order for me to get a little bit of sleep, and I took full advantage of that and actually got some good sleep on the flight as we were continuing to head our way through the plains. And sure enough, not too long after, it felt like it went by really fast, and we were actually over Wisconsin. And sure enough, not real long after, the flight attendant said that we were beginning our descent into Chicago. So literally when I got up, we were beginning our descent into Chicago, which is right where there is some interesting things to see outside the window for the night sky as we begin our approach into Chicago O'Hare. After ending a 4-hour flight across the United States, we land ourselves into Chicago at about 5:30 in the morning. Overall, I will say, based on my experience with Alaska Airlines, of all the airlines that I have been on so far, this is probably my favorite so far at the moment. And with my experience flying Alaska, the economy class for a 737, this is probably the best that I have seen, and it completely exceeded my expectations. While I wouldn't say this is like being on a United 787 Dreamliner, I will say the economy class for Alaska Airlines is an amazing one to experience, and I would highly recommend giving Alaska Airlines a try if you guys are ever given the opportunity to fly them. I personally felt like for legroom wise, it felt pretty big, and also the seat that I was in was very comfortable, making it for a very pleasant flight. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and if you guys sticked around to this long, thank you very much for watching. If you guys are interested in watching some more videos, then consider hitting that like button and to leave a comment and subscribe. Until then, this is Trevor the Aviator from Chicago O'Hare International Airport. Thank you, everyone. I'll catch you at the airport.